So you were learning languages so that you can speak to them?
Yeah, so that we can speak to them. And they also beat me with a gun.
Hi everyone, welcome to RHH Talk.
Oh yes.
RHH?
Talk.
Yeah. It's talk. We are talking. Ugambio, we are talking.
Yeah.
Here we talk about everything, no filter. We talk about everything that has anything to do with life, and it's just a matter of encouraging each other, encouraging one another in the path of life. You know how life is. Life is very difficult, more especially these days. There's a saying, but I'm not gonna say it because they say life yeah, but yeah, let's keep it there. You know, you know what it means. So, but yeah, and my name is Livhuwani, and yeah, I'm the one who's gonna be running this train from now up until when God says it's enough. I'm not alone today. I have our first guest. He will introduce himself, but yes, I'm sure the face is familiar. You all know him. If you don't know him, then you haven't subscribed to his channel. So please make sure that you like, you share, you subscribe, you even call the others to watch. Make sure that others subscribe as well, and please keep on sharing.
Yeah.
And also grow the audience. And one more important thing, also don't forget to comment, ask questions in the comment section, and I'll make sure that they're answered. So without any waste of time, I'll allow Livhuwani to introduce himself, and he will take us through from his upbringing, from where he was born, how he grew up. Though I'm also going to be asking him some questions here and there, but he will have to introduce himself, and then we will take it from there. Livu, how are you, man?
Hey. I'm very well, thank you. I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. I'm bodacious. I'm great.
Yeah, I just wanted to welcome you specially.
No, thank you.
And welcoming you specially because this is our very first episode. Anyway, who's Livhuwani? Where was Livhuwani born, and where you are,
Ooh.
and life in general? How has it been from childhood,
Yes,
growing
yes.
up? Did you have any siblings? How was you growing up? Were you a stubborn kid? Were you a kid who listens? Judging from the character, you being a pastor, and all that. But
You're making me give away all the scoop today, eh?
Who's Livu in general?
Guys, get your spoons and ice cream. It's time for popcorn. Nonetheless, thank you for having me. It's a great privilege and honor to be here while you're starting this. This is the first of many, I believe. The Word of God says, never, ever undermine days of small beginnings, because there is no small beginning when the Lord is in it. I say, the Lord increase you more and more. May He continue to prosper you in all your ways. I say, may His blessing continue to abound. May He pour out and He keep on pouring and pouring and pouring, that you gush out in plenty and abundance insofar as this platform is concerned. I pray that the guests do not get scared to come and talk. And give a real account of what life has been to them and how they've managed to make a lemonade out of squeezing those lemons that they've got.
Yes.
Because life indeed is a journey. And I'm from a very interesting part of South Africa. If you're wondering where it is, I'm from Venda. And not just any place in Venda, I'm from the capital of Venda. We call it London. I'm from Jerere, Hamandiwana. That's where I am from. By birth, I was born in Chiridzini Hospital. I think it's somewhere in Toyando. Born a sickly child. Yeah. Was it sickly? Born before time. They say I was premature.
Premature.
And I came with my own conditions then, asthmatic and also a skin condition. But nonetheless, I was born. We started fighting from the very beginning.
Now you have been a fighter, eh?
No, we had to show up and start doing things.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a family of three. We are three boys, and raised predominantly by our mother and the rest of the family. By the rest of the family, I'm referring to my grandmother, my elder sister. I'm referring to the community as well at large, because we stayed in a community environment. And life has been great from a childhood point of view, in that where I come from particularly, while we were growing up, there was no rich or poor child. You would not see who comes from where. Maybe if you knew labels at the time, we did not.
Yeah.
We were all children wearing what we perceived as uniform. We played, my brother. We played there in London. We had lots and lots and lots of fun. Growing up, we drove buses and taxis and bakkies. But the matter that they were made of, they were made of brick.
You were very ambitious from
From the get-go. And maybe to also add, it was not just the brick cars that we drove.
Yeah.
You know, clay, Vumba. We also would make our own cars using clay.
Yeah, yeah.
So we've been in the car game for a while, guys.
It says it speaks volume. But anyway, continue.
And when the wired cars came, we had an uncle of ours who was quite good at that. So we also had nice looking wire-made cars. So that's where I'm from. And what am I missing? Grew up in London. Not stubborn like the Londonese, but you grew up strong.
So Londonese are stubborn.
Londonese are perceived differently. I don't know where people get it, but they say if you need to experience life, go to London.
So is it true that if you find yourself having a girlfriend or a girl that side, you must consider it as something else? Because I've heard people saying, no, you don't have to go and date in Jarere. If you date in Jarere, then just know that your life is finished. I don't know what it means, but is it true or what?
They say ask no questions, hear no lies. But I will say this to everybody.
He doesn't want to answer my question.
London is such a great place. You will have a great experience of life.
Yeah.
One that is unforgettable. One that you will hold and cherish forever.
Okay.
And I'm confident it will build up your character. So please don't be scared of London. If
hey. Okay. But anyway, yes, it's nice to know that you are proud from where you come
no, proudly
from.
Londonese.
And it's not a big deal even when people say whatever that they say.
We love London.
So tell me, growing up,
Yes.
you grew up in a family. Obviously, everybody grows up in one.
Yeah.
The family that you grew up in, how was the setup? Some of us, we grew up with mothers, we grew up with our dads, we grew up with our siblings and grannies and everybody else. With you guys, how was your upbringing?
Our setup is more of traditional African family of the time. It's mixed. It's a hybrid family whereby you've got your grandparents, you've got a mother, you've got siblings. You sort of have other members of the family, being an older sister from the other side, probably brothers from the other side. By the other side, I'm referring to my Mamphwe side, my mom's older sister. And yeah, essentially that was our family setup. We grew up as three boys, and it was quite fun. In the three boys, my sister also gave me her first, when she gave birth to her first daughter, I also got her first child. In that, that child became mine. So that was the girl in the family. Hey. Yeah. She brought the drama and we enjoyed it. And with that said as well, we're not raised by our dad. We did not stay with him, but I can't remember as far as my recollection goes. We probably stayed together for some time, but I don't know how long that time was. But my memory cannot really put it together. No, no. And yeah, that's the setup. Grew up.
But then now, okay, fine. Now, what I want to understand is you didn't grow up with your dad.
Yes.
But you grew up with your mom.
Yes.
How was it growing up without a dad and looking and judging from afar when somebody looks at you and they look at how you conduct yourself, your character, how you have become? One wouldn't tell that you didn't grow up with a dad.
With life, you sort of have to make up life yourself. And we're going to start from the end when answering this one. Life is what you make out of it yourself. You ought to decide how your life is going to turn out or shape your life. Growing up without a father figure for me, I can't say it was hard because I do not know what growing up with a father is like.
Okay.
It's something that is foreign to me. As much as we might have received or looked at it from a distance, looking at our neighbors, it's something we cannot say. I cannot say I owned. I cannot say I've got a void. I cannot say I missed anything, because the family that I grew up in made sure that we could not fill that void. The community I grew up in, that kind of setup was sort of common. So there was no void. There was no one who would sort of look special because they have a father figure in their lives. The fathers in the community also took it upon themselves to sort of not only lead the kids that they biologically father, they led all of us collectively as their own children, as they would. And that experience itself made sure that we felt like, I felt like, indeed, there's no need to have a father.
It takes a village
I know
to raise a child.
exactly.
Yeah.
I know my physical father exists. He is alive. He is well. And when I need to talk to him, I would call him. He would come see us. We would go visit him. So that's what the setup was like. And growing up, like I said, there was not a void necessarily, because it's something we don't know. It's a known unknown. We don't know what we don't know.
Yeah, it's an unknown.
Yeah,
So it's something that we didn't know. So why veil? Why veil?
Exactly.
But yes, you grew up in that situation. You grew up in that setup.
Yeah.
But at the same time, growing up, it might have been hard because now, if we are to be honest, you get to school. Some kids are brought to school by their dads. You find at school somebody saying, "No, my dad did 1, 2, 3 for me," and all that. But you don't have that experience, and how would you tackle that? And at the same time, you yourself growing up, how did you deal with the situation from you being that child to say, it doesn't matter, we're still young. Then you grow up, now you start to have an understanding of what's happening.
Yeah.
And then now, obviously, you're a human being. You get mad, it frustrates you, it takes you to this dark place wherein you just feel like, don't we deserve to be loved? Don't we deserve certain things? Like, how did you get to deal with that?
The important thing is how you are raised. The way you are raised is extremely important. If anything, when I meet someone, a friend, a colleague, I'm interested in knowing their upbringing, because I will quickly understand how their life is shaped up and how they would act in a certain way.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, it is foreign knowing what the pattern is like. So while we were young, it did not really matter whether there's a father or not. He would visit, so that was our normal. So there was nothing missing insofar as I'm concerned. But as you grow, you get to experience life differently. In the school that I went to, I'll market them, Gondoli Ketra Private School.
Okay.
Christian school, by the way.
Gondo.
Gondo.
Oh, Gondo.
Likhetwa.
Gondo Likhetwa.
Christian school.
Okay, yeah, Gondo Likhetwa Christian school.
So
it's also found in London.
Yes, it's in London as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So London is anyway. So went to the school, and I'm saying upbringing is important in this, that in our school it was uncommon for parents to bring their children because their children need to come on time, and there was transport for whichever route you were traveling from.
Yeah, yeah.
If ever your parent brings you as maybe you're misbehaving and
Oh, yeah.
if they bring you maybe, what do you call it? You were late, the transport left you behind.
Yeah.
It was quite uncommon. So we never saw a lot of that happening. So it was quite odd. When a parent comes, you'll be like, and then what is this one's parent doing here?
Yeah.
Do they not pay the school fees?
Yeah, yeah.
Are they here to negotiate? What's happening?
Yeah.
It did not look like they were doing parental duties. But as life went on, that unknown known, it starts to be known through other kids. As this guy is quite happy. He's like, yo, how was your weekend? We're catching up now on a Monday. Like, yeah, mine was great. I'm like, hey, great. What happened, man? It's like, yeah, my dad was teaching me how to drive.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you and your dad, you've got a relationship, you teach each other things, you do things together.
I don't have that.
What is that? No, not even I don't have. What is that? And then he started to say things about his dad, and once in a while you see, remember now it's known, you'd see them being dropped off by a parent, you'd see the stories continue. They get to talk about the experiences of life. Not saying it because they want you to feel it, but it's their normal. They don't know what my setup is like. And they're not trying to provoke or anger me or make me feel anything. It was just their setup. So later growing up in life, you start to be like, oh, but if this guy's dad would do this, why is my dad not teaching me how to drive? He's got a car. Why not? What's happening here?
Yeah.
Does he not love me? Maybe. Does he not love us collectively? What's the setup here? And you sort of, in your teens, start to grow at an ease. You start to become less tolerant. You start to see things in your own way, not meaning that they're necessarily right.
Yeah.
You start to be unkind. You start to sort of want to get involved in things to say, but why is it like this? You build up resentment now because you are looking at other people's story and your story is different, but how?
Yeah.
And you forget that it's your own story. It's never been an issue, but because somebody is saying something now, it starts to sort of become a thorn. It starts to pierce you. It doesn't make sense. You don't know it, but now you want to. So later in life, resentment came when mom said, go visit your dad as usual, because we would visit him in school holidays, or he'd come see us once in a while. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go. Then she sat us down. You're like, what do you mean you don't want to go? This is the pattern. You are going to see your dad.
Yeah.
And whatever happened between me and your dad stays between us. We are not enemies. We are civil. We are in talking, and everything is fine. So don't pick a side. You are going to see your dad. And he's your dad. Nothing is going to change that. It is what it is.
So basically with what you're saying,
Yes.
it was more of you yourself making a decision.
Yeah.
Regardless of the situation, but you had to make a decision.
What helped us to get to the decision, rather, is this, or helped me personally. In all of that, my mom would tell me, or she would tell us collectively, to say, guys, you are God's children. You can't come to me and you say you don't have a father.
Yeah.
Because God is the father to the fatherless.
Exactly.
So how would you say you don't have a father? Your father is physically alive. He is well. You know that. God, although he's not here, is here.
Exactly.
And as much as God is here, he's your father.
Yeah.
And not only that, if ever there's counsel and guidance you need, there is God.
Exactly.
When you misbehave, she would easily make a prayer to say, "Hi guys, no, we've spoken. There is no crocodile today. We are sitting and talking," and that would be the hardest spanking of the day, because they are not using any physical force to beat you,
You're
but
not
they are
doing
talking
anything.
to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they need to talk to you that day, there is no shouting or screaming. She just calls
It's
you. When she
talking.
shouts, you know, it's a light moment. You did
Yeah.
something not so complicated. You scream back, yes.
Yeah.
But when it's about to go down, she'll be like, hey,
You sit,
Livhuwani.
you sit and you listen,
You sit
and
and you listen.
it's
And actually, in the community, the other guys would, whenever somebody does something sort of stupid,
yeah.
they would come to my house, and mom would talk to them. And to this day, they're like, your mom. I don't know what she would tell to them.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of families that grew up in that setup, because
Yeah.
some of us also, I grew up in a space where my mom is feared.
Yeah.
Like, trust me. Even now, we at a stage where even if even if I'm with the gents, and
Yeah,
then she
yeah.
just appears
Yeah.
or just comes to say, hey, I was just
No,
coming to
yeah,
say,
respect.
you will realize that everybody changes.
Yeah.
Like they start to become. So I guess it also comes with the strong women that they
No,
are.
agreed. And thank God for our moms, to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
True.
They've played a crucial role. That role of a mom, I can confidently say I've felt it, I've experienced it, and it has aided significantly in what we are today. And for me, maybe the takeaway is she raised us towards God,
Yeah.
where she realized that her own wisdom, her own understanding would fail her. She would, after a heated argument or conversation with us, give a quick prayer to say, God, these are your children. Yes, they are with me physically. It's a gift from you. You have allowed me to raise them. But at the end of the day, they are your children.
Yeah.
They will grow up to be great men, and men that would lead in communities and do whatnot and whatnot. It did not
Yeah.
make sense at the time.
Yeah.
But whenever you fall out of line, whenever she says that, you know, hey, yeah, you can't even misbehave here, because now they escalate you. They tell your stories to God. So what can you do?
But then I think also that's why I'm saying that it has a lot to do with you, because at the same time, when you look at everything, okay, fine. I don't know if it's grace
Yeah.
or if it's a situation where in God was saying, if you take this path, then you're gonna be fine. If you don't take this path, then things are just gonna be. Because now, honestly speaking, how did you know the outcome? I mean, in a sense that had you taken another route, you would have become something else. But uh, even when she prays, and then you guys starts to feel guilty and all that, was it that thing of saying, okay, fine, now, hey, this woman of God, now we need to feel
putting us
guilty
in a
and
corner.
all that and whatnot, or it was that thing of a revelation wherein you just had it in you that, you know what, there's this thing, because in most cases, I believe that when we grow up as people that would literally choose. It's either you listen to them or you don't listen.
Look, growing up, the people we grew up with were not all talk. They lived what they talked. So, if anything, we had their examples. They were living what they were telling us. It's not like they would say we should do this, that, and then they don't do
They
it
don't do the
themselves.
same. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the responsibility and the honors had to be with myself. I needed to choose. Am I going to live my own rugged way, or am I going to fall in line?
Yeah.
And the choice at the end of the day, I think it's unfortunate that people keep on saying or blaming their dads for the things or how their lives turned
Or
out
for
to be.
the way they became.
For the
This
way
is
they
how I
became,
became because of.
my dad was not present.
Yeah.
God was there. You ultimately need to decide, because at the end of the day, it's your life.
True.
You can't blame your father or your dad for something they never did. You can't blame them for an experience you are not aware of, something you do not know. You blame them to say, but if my dad was there, something. He was not there. So how do you blame somebody who wasn't there for something you actually also do not know.
Yeah.
You've never
You
experienced
don't know
it.
what, you don't even know what was gonna be the outcome at
You
the end
see,
of the day. Yeah.
because either way, probably they would have been there. You'd still continue this way. It's a choice that one needs to make, and the sooner you come to terms with it and let yourself loose or set yourself free, and choose to follow a path, or choose to say, look, you know what, this is the life I want for myself. I'm going to put in the effort. It's not that the hurdles will not come.
Yeah, true.
The challenges will be there.
Obvious.
It
They are
changes
always there.
nothing. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why I always tell people that, you know what, when you live this life, don't live life according to, it is because I am going through this, or it is because somebody did this, or if it was not because of, because the reason why I'm saying this is because if you are to take that route, understand that whoever is saying that to you, or whoever did that to you, or whoever was involved in that, trust me, they have their own life they are living.
They do.
But the problem now becomes when they do that and then your own life stops. How much more even when they have passed away? They are no longer there, but you are there and you are still left. So you're going to stay on earth and suffer.
And hold on to something.
Like your whole life, it's just going to be a mess, and then you're just going to suffer for the longest time in your life while you're holding on to that. So what I'm basically trying to say, maybe it's to say, I know that it's not easy. I understand. And the problem is also what we are fed.
Yeah.
When you are told a certain thing, you go by what you are told. More especially when we are kids. Parents, I don't know what happens, but parents are so smart to a point where they know that if I tell my kid this, my kid will take it as is, and they will run with it.
They won't second guess, they won't question. Parent is always right.
You know what? And the problem becomes when you grow up now and
To a different reality.
And you're growing up to a different reality, and you hate your father, you hate your mother because your dad said this about your mother, because your mother said this about your father, and it becomes a chaos.
To that, like I said earlier, my mom would literally remind us time and time again, like, dude, whatever happened between me and your dad, whatever issues we had, they have nothing to do with you. They are none of your business.
Yeah.
I'm your mom, he's your dad. How you live your life, we would guide you as far as possible, but it's entirely up to you.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that we live in a, I'll call it rotten generation. Rotten in that there's misinformation being fed to the kids.
True.
There's misrepresentation predominantly on the father side.
Exactly.
To say, but yeah, your dad chose another woman, your dad this. They speak ill of the other person. And when the child grows, they grow in resentment. And growing up in resentment, it also shapes your character to be resentful.
Exactly.
You raise a resentful child thinking you're defending them against their parent. Children eventually grow up to make sense of the situation themselves.
Thank you.
You do not have to tell the child what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah.
The child, when the child grows, will pick up at, but dad, why do you do this like this? Why did you do this like this? You do not really have to say anything bad about the other parent. Afford your child to grow normally. It's their normal. They don't have a dad, they don't know what a dad is, but they are there, they are alive, they are well. But you can have the opportunity to teach them what a proper dad does. Not saying, I'm a mother, but this, you actually live it out. The way you teach them, the way you talk to them, the way you mold their life.
Yeah.
So if you're saying you missed out because your dad was not there, no. It's a decision that you made yourself, and you can still make another decision, which is to choose to live a different life.
Yeah, I think also when you have put it that like that, it also goes back to a lot of things that I've seen, a lot of people that I've come across.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that would grow up in a family, in a dysfunctional family setup, but when they grow up, they decide and they make a decision to say, you know what, I want to be me, I want to do me, and I want to be a different breed from where I come from. And you find that they're doing way well. Like you start to realize that this person, even at school, they do good. tend to say, I want to build myself up. They build themselves up. They become this giant to a point where even when they go home next time, they go with big cars and all that, because they've chosen a different life. And when you ask them about parents, and only to find that they don't even know they're dead. They were disowned, maybe when they were still young and all that and whatnot. But they didn't take the situation to make it a life changing or life defining moment. Yeah. So you said a mouthful about that, but in all that you said, honestly speaking, I wanted you to say it. That's why I didn't even wanted to interrupt and all that, because I wanted you to release it. When it's coming from somebody who has lived the life, it's different from when somebody's just saying it. Because now, when you have lived that life, you understand better. You know better. Personal. You know how it is. You know how it feels not to have him around. You know how it feels to have a mother around. You know how it feels to grow up in that situation. So that, with that being said, it was just to say you can give it to the people as it is, and just tell somebody how it is. Now, I want us to go to the next one. I want us to talk about you. You are grown now. You're a grown man. You had to leave home. You had to go to, I would say Pretoria, because I think that's the place that part. That's the place that you came to. But now, you didn't have a dad. You only had a mom who was supportive. Okay, your dad was there. I'm pretty much sure still when you had to make those decisions to come, he knew. But now, coming this side to a foreign space, where you know nobody, even if you know friends or however, how was it coming to this side and starting life this side and all that?
For me, it was a blessing to say that there were older brothers and sisters that had come this side prior or before us.
Oh, that's nice.
So coming this side, we were well received. The parents had prepared already to say, well, you're coming this side, you're probably going to stay with XYZ, and this is where they stay. For them, it was also sort of a safe cushion to say, obviously. At least we're sending them to somebody we know.
Boys will always be boys.
Boys will always be boys.
Yeah.
So we grew up. When we came here, we were in the custody of one of my big brothers. His name is Rendani. Also Tiji. So we stayed. I stayed with them, and a whole lot of other people in that setup. Coming to Pretoria for school was something I was looking forward to. To be honest, I was not looking forward to even the idea of staying in Venda or attending school in Venda. So it was not on the table.
So it started with everything, and you tell yourself, "I'm going to Pretoria."
Initially, the idea was not even Pretoria. I wanted to go to Durban. I had enrolled at DUT, Durban University of Technology.
Yes.
I went there for practicals the year before. I did my sort of assessments. I think they accepted conditionally. And when they did conditional acceptance, I passed, but they were not saying anything. So I also thought, you know what, Durban, I'll be isolated there, I'll be alone. But there's people here.
I'm glad they didn't say anything, because God was saying something.
So. Yeah, so I'm like, no, but you call me Zulu, man. I'm
It was not gonna work for you, man.
So Durban did not work. They actually came back quite late.
Yeah.
And I had enrolled at one of the colleges here. It's a private college. And yeah, that's where my life started with Victoria. I also had to make a choice. As much as Rendani and the other guy, Chizu, were there, I needed to make up my mind as to the life I want to live. There is no more parent now who would tell me what to do and what not to do. The way we were raised is now starting to show. Because in your spirit, or you could feel, right, man, this is not right. I can't be doing this.
I need to live now.
Hence, for me, the most important thing, upbringing is crucial.
Yeah.
How you are raised is more important than anything, because that's the adult you become later in life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that played a very, very big role. It helped us make certain decisions. Coming to Pretoria, obviously we would walk at night. It's something that we could not do back at home. Yeah, it was fun. You would also say somebody is hosting, you'd go to the party, try experience what is a party, what actually happens there. That's the reality of life.
Yeah, he partied, by the way.
No, we did. I don't want to lie. The first time, remember there was my friend on the podcast the other day.
Yeah.
First time we went to this thing called a freshers ball. At school, they hosted a freshers ball. It was a completely different reality. It was fun, I'm being honest. But I realized, no, this is not the life I'm going to live. Yes, it's fun, but no, man.
This is not you.
Not me. This is not how I was raised. This doesn't speak to me. Actually, I just realized, okay, fine, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't have issues with anybody that does. But that was just me.
Yeah.
Hence, I keep on hammering. Upbringing is
It's
important. And guess
Province.
what? We did not know the language. The one thing that influenced us to learn the language, my brother, there was a teacher in high school, he kept on saying, guys, study, pass and go. Leave these girls, you'll see beautiful girls. Hey, he was not lying. Hey.
Yay!
We were forced to learn languages.
Came to Pretoria and saw people.
Hey!
You saw nice people, yeah.
We were forced to learn languages so that we can relate. And by the way, we're not asking them out.
So you were learning languages so that you can speak to them?
Yeah, so that we can speak to them.
Okay.
That time when you're trying to communicate,
Mr. Stan.
Mavenda, And yeah, we sort of learned the languages.
Do you now understand, guys, when I say boys will always be boys? I mean, that part, it's something that he said it.
What was I going to do?
I haven't even asked, but yes, he went there. But yeah, with all honesty, yes, there's that. And then I also heard a story where you were beaten thoroughly.
Hey.
What happened?
Hey.
What happened?
Hey, Pretoria was nice and very bad. There was 0 and 100, guys. I think negative as well. Not just 0.
Not just the 0.
We moved in, stayed where we stayed for some time. And as you grow up, you initially you don't mind sharing, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the situation. It is what it is. And it's nice staying with people. The more the merrier. But at a point in time, we decided, no, let's start off. Let's grow up. Let's open our own apartment.
Yeah.
You go to these property agencies, you apply. I'm not going to say the name. The guy there, the big brother went there, he applied. He's like, I found us a place. Let's go. Did we even go view? No. He viewed it. He liked it. We took his judgment. We agreed. He's been here for some time. If he says it's nice, it's nice.
It's nice, yeah.
So, day of moving out, we move out. By the way, disclaimer, he's a police officer. So, we move out, we get there. And it's an exciting day. We are unpacking. We are happy. Oh, finally, we've got a place of our own, right? Actually, first day, we just moved in. Second day, we are unpacking. We are packing. We are ironing. We are getting everything in order. And, we are in there, we are inside, we thought everything is in order. I'm walking past the passage, I'm carrying stuff that was ironed, I'm putting it in the cupboard. I see the door opening. But it did not click. I'm like, okay. Door opens, first guy walks in. Second guy, third guy, fourth guy. And as I'm putting the stuff in, now they are in. And the other people can see. Because for me, it was that moment you can't scream, you don't know what's happening, it doesn't make sense. But the guys are here. And long story short, it was a robbery. It was a house robbery. Those guys are like, bring your phones. That's why I realized this thing is serious. Firstly, they tell you, order, we are in charge, lie down. We lie down. Where are the phones? We search ourselves, we put the phones, we give them the phones. What about this? Where's the man? I give the money. And they're like, okay, they start searching now, taking whatever they felt they wanted. My friend just bought a new phone. His parents bought him a new phone.
Yes.
See those Samsungs? I think, was it a sliding one? But it was a new phone,
Yeah.
and very nice one. They took the phone. And then, consequently, it's us, the big brother, and his twin sister. He's got a twin sister. And she was working already. He was also working as a police officer. So if anything, they are the ones that had something. They had some money. They had... when those guys came in there, they're like, yeah, where is the man? I'm like, me? Money I don't have. Yeah, Miss Dude, this is all I have. They're like, no problem. They started searching. And the instruction was, look down. Don't look at us. You don't have to look at us, because if you look at us, you'll be able to recognize us. That will be a problem. So fine, we did not look at them, but they started searching. And while they were searching, my sister was there lying down. And then they like, yeah, where's the money? She's like, no, in the wallet. They took the wallet, they withdrew everything. They're like, where's the rest? She's like, no, this is all I've got. The rest is at the bank.
Yeah.
And just when she said bank, something clicked in those guys.
Oish.
Now they're thinking, oh, we take it. We're going to go withdraw. I'm like, and then I'm looking, now I'm like, hey, if they're talking to her, let me just look at her. Just in her locking eyes and looking at each other, they saw us. We're not kicked.
Yeah, so that's where the whole commotion started.
The commotion started when they saw that we were looking at each other. They came there, they kicked us, they beat us up, and then, you know, when they say, ngachivenda, ni ukuta. I was so tiny at the time. If you think I'm tiny now, I was at the time.
No, I think I know the tiny.
They grabbed us with our feet.
Yeah.
My feet. They shook whatever was on the pockets. It fell off. And then they like, oh well, this is it. My sister's husband now was there. He had said he would come pick her up. So he's calling. Hey, calling. She's not answering. He's downstairs. He used to drive the city golfs.
Oh, yes.
So you would hear, this guy is
He's here.
And to make sure you also hear that he's here, he would rev it up a bit.
Yeah, so yeah.
And I'm okay. And then he's like calling. And then these guys decide, hey, maybe let's take this call. They pick up, hey, Resale busy. They answer the phone. So you realize, no, something is off.
Yeah.
Somebody answered the phone. And when he called again, they are not answering. So
Anymore, yeah.
It's like panicking. Is my wife cheating? Is she okay? So he went around to go get the other guy so that he can come back with them. The safety is in numbers. I think it was wise of him to do that. In him going, they now say, okay, fine. Since we don't have all the money that we've got, the money that's left is at the ATM. We're not sister. Let's go. The twin brother is like, you're not going anywhere with my sister.
Yeah.
So he was a big guy. He's a big buff guy. He's like, no. So he stood up. He's a police officer. And as he stood up, they opened fire. When they opened fire, it passed the pillow. It hit the wall. And he lay low since. So then they left. In their leaving, they took everything. You see the beds?
Yes.
They put it on top of us to say, if there's recovery mode, we won't recover quick because we need to get rid of the beds on top of us.
Yeah.
Over and above that, they took clothes. They tied us with clothes.
Yeah.
And then they were making sure there's no way we'll try catch them.
Yeah.
And that's the rough part of Pretoria. It was so rough that one of my friends, the one I'm referring to, he's not the police officer, but he was wearing police uniform. Just when they were searching the money, you know when they beat you proper, and they asked him, where's the money? We had a bed that had bricks. He had put some money under the bricks. You had to tell them, Ray, I know, under the brick.
So they were beating.
And they beat us. And they also beat me with a gun on my head after they realized I was communicating with my sister. So I would have a headache. It would beat 3 times, zing, 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 and then it would calm down. And then whenever it comes again, zing, 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 zing. So imagine you are studying at school, you also have that, but yeah, that was the dark side of it.
Yeah, no, well,
We never got the Mandela Drive welcome, but that's what we got.
yeah, so I guess everybody has their story to tell in
Yeah,
Pretoria.
yeah.
Anyway, in closing, I want us to talk about 10 times better. How did you ended up going into doing 10 times better? And
Whew.
maybe you can start it from you becoming a pastor, and then you ending up doing 10 times better.
That's the interesting one. While growing up, we grew up in a church family. We'd go to church every single week back at home, and it's sort of in your system. If it's in your system, you know Bible scriptures, you know when faced with a certain reality, this is what I do, this is what I say. And faith with that, that was life. Came to church to school this side. Fortunately, there was also a branch this side. So it was like a transition from the Venda branch to the Pretoria one. Short. While we were there, you know, man, I think it's how you were raised.
Yeah.
It sort of translates good manners, how you take care of other people, how you relate with other people. And while we were at church, I don't know how these guys got it. And whenever I'd speak to them, it's older guys even. I was young at the time. They'd be like, "Hey, Mfunzi." I'm like, yeah.
Obviously, you
Aye.
wouldn't like that.
Aye.
Growing up being called Mufun.
I'm like, how? That time, they've never heard me preach. I've done nothing. I'm just myself. I'm just a young boy living my life.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, "Hey, Mfunzi!" I'm like, yeah. Mfunzi is pastor, by the way, for anybody listening. I'm like, no, come on. And as time progressed, the pastor who was serving there left the church. When he left, he went somewhere else, and while he was there, I sort of started just helping him casually. I remember he would have assistants in a previous church because there's a structure that's already formed. Here is a new church. I'm like, Pastor, wherever you want me to help, just let me know. I'm more than happy to assist.
Yeah.
But the actual thing itself started when I looked at my life encounters, and Pretoria, for instance, when we almost died, I looked at how I've survived life all along.
Yeah.
The bus incident.
Yes.
I combined that. One other day while we were going to school, somehow the bakkie, the door opened. I was sitting just there at the edge. It started swaying. It was raining. I was almost out. Somebody grabbed me, fortunately.
Hey.
Then I started to say, God, if anything, there's a reason you preserved me. And I've been living for myself.
Purpose.
But I've done everything I wanted as an individual in my personal capacity. But what is your will? What is it that which you want me to do to serve you? Because I think I'm fine with what I wanted. I want what you want for me.
Yeah.
Because what I want for myself might limit me. I might not live out my full potential because I would only end up here.
Yes.
I'm like, God, I'm your vessel, use me. And then, after that, somehow it's like you're attracting people to come with their problems now. I enjoyed intimate conversations. It's just me and you, the two of us. I would encourage you to say, but the Word of God says, I know you're facing this and this and this and this. And I'd get a lot of this, and we would guide each other and show each other the way. And then, out of the blue, Pastor is like, can you assist me with offering?
Pastor who, by the way?
Pastor Dangali.
Okay.
This is my pastor. Can you assist me with offering? I'm like, how? Me? Murut. It's like, don't stress. I'm like, but I've never done it before. It's like, don't worry. I'll prepare you. Just do the way I've been doing. You can add your own personal touch and feel. I'm like, Pastor. It's like, man, don't stress. You got it. So that's where I got to learn my public speaking. So yeah, a few months, a year later, pastor is like, no, I'm going to ordain you and you're a youth pastor. I'm like, pastor, how did we get here? No, I was just teaching, I was just helping you
You
with
called
the
for
offering.
it.
No,
No.
no, 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 you are,
Yeah,
pastor.
you called for it, and we are happy you are there.
No, but I forgot now.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, oh, but guys, I'm still too young for this thing. Why am I now? Then I kept on speaking to God to say, Lord, continue to show me how you want me to say. And Pastor Budeli called. That time I remember at church I'm teaching every week. We are taking offering. We are talking about money. We are encouraging the people. I don't know how it got to Pastor Budeli. Probably through Ndi.
Yeah.
He sold me out that one. When you sold me out, everything was fine, and you sold me out. It's because of you, Josh. Ndi. So he sold me out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Well, I understood he's a photographer. He was busy. He did not have time to record, snippets
Sermons
that he
and
would
all
share.
that, yes,
So it's
yeah.
like, no, you know what, did? He can also help us. Then Pastor Budeli called. He's like, look, there's this opportunity. Actually, he was not even asking me. He was telling me.
Telling you, yeah.
It's like, there's this 10 times. I want you to take care of it. You lead it. Your brother will teach on Sundays. He will take care of the Sunday stuff. You'll do Wednesdays. I'm like, okay, game on. It's like, yeah, no, I know you've not done it before, but yeah, get it done. So it was as simple as having a voice recording, record and send to him, and then he will transmit. And all of this started in COVID, by the way.
Yeah.
In that isolation, I
Yes,
continued to
yes.
ask God, God, what do you want me to do? I know there's an isolation. How do you want me to serve? And God is like, no, follow suit, do what He's telling you. And 10 times started there. Started with a microphone, no camera, nothing. Evolved to sitting at the corner with a chair and what do you call those things? Ring lights. Got tired of the ring light quality because I could see my eyes shining. I could see the rings there. I came here for a better light. That's where I met this man. I knew him. I knew he was a photographer. So, yeah, I came here and it's been 10 times better since.
Yeah.
And it continues to get 10 times better.
Yeah, it continues. Anyway,
it's been a journey.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we'll also get into detail when you come. I'm pretty much
Yeah,
sure
because I know there's a lot of
I
things
know
you
that
wanted
they are
us
going
to
to
cover.
ask. I'm not gonna ask anything anymore. I know that they have questions for you. There's a lot of questions that people want to know about.
I'm ready.
About their pastor, about their friend, about Livu.
Bring it on, guys.
About the 10 times better teacher. But in closing, I want you to just encourage somebody out there. Who you grow up without a functional family, but it was functional because people that you were staying with made it functional. You grow up to become the man that you are today. There's a part that I did not touch, also the part of cars. I know you are a petrol head, you love cars. And there's a lot of things that I didn't touch. Yes, there's a business side of you as well that I didn't touch. But there's a lot that you have done for yourself. And there's a lot that you have achieved. And when we are to trace back and look back from where you come from and all the incidents that you have come across and everything that has taught you, whatever that it has taught you, and what you have became, what is it that you can tell somebody out there in closing? What is it that you can say to somebody out there to say, yes, this is life, but we can always tackle it in this manner?
The reality is you are a master of your own destiny. And you will go as far as you say yourself. Sundown says the sky is the limit. I say God is the limit. And when it comes to God, it says that nothing is impossible with God. And if nothing is impossible with God, Him being the father to the fatherless, I was called an orphan child. I did not understand what it meant. But I had to make up my mind. I had to make up a decision myself.
Yeah.
My reality is not framed by what other people said about me.
Thank you.
I framed my reality by the words that I spoke myself. I took it upon myself to start it speaking, even though it did not make sense. Having come to Pretoria, I had enough for rent and groceries. I did not have pocket money. But in that I started speaking. I started to tell God, I'm like, God, you are the source of my total supply. In this, I want you to present an opportunity that would make money for me to have pocket money, to buy a sweet when I want to buy a scone when I want to. An opportunity was presented. By the way, I used to iron clothes and get paid for it. It's no joke.
This guy decided to live a nice business, but anyway.
No, we'll get to it. Well, it was for survival at the time, and it worked. But I want to say to you, maybe for somebody who's saying that,
No, to them.
no, for somebody who's saying that,
Yes.
I feel like the fact that my other parent was not there has been a limiting factor for me. I feel like life could have turned out better. Life will turn out the way you say yourself, because at the end of the day, you are the master of your own destiny. If there's anyone that is putting the limit, it's yourself. You are what you say you are, says the word of God. And you, having been made in the image and likeness of God, the God who created the heavens and the earth, the God who said, let there be light, and light came, you need to hold on to this reality. The Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. What is it that you are full of? Are you full of complaints and worry? Are you full of saying, but this should have been done this way? I want to say to you, afford yourself the opportunity to let go and let God, to give it to God and start telling God exactly what you want. He made mention of us being petrol heads. The petrol headedness started by seeing other people's cars, admiring them and talking to them, and being happy and celebrating others who were winning at the time, and not having a heart of jealousy, and not having a heart of limiting God to what looks possible. If anything, I would have been well, I would not have achieved much if I looked at my own physical strength, at my own physical circumstances. But I let it go and I gave it all to God. I told God, I'm like, God, you say we will enjoy musukuna maseta alino shango
Yes.
fano shangoni.
Yes.
You said heaven can be made here
On
because heaven is a condition. Heaven is your presence, God. And if you live and abide in me, I want to experience it while we are here. I want to enjoy your goodness while we are here. And yeah, that's shaped out my life. It's not been easy, but I'm encouraging you to say this. Number one, cast it to God. Start to tell God what you want exactly, word for word. He is the only one who won't judge you or tell you it's too much. Tell him word for word. Believe that he will do it. Go through the process. It comes with its own ups and downs. They murdered us in Pretoria. We never thought we would make it. They beat us, guys. I thought that was the end. But in that end, or realizing that the end might be near, I whispered to God, I'm like, God, I'm not going to die here. I'm going to live. I'm going to still be that one that you spoke about, to say you are going to do great and mighty exploits. I started speaking Jeremiah 29:11 for me personally, and I kept on saying, for I know, God, you have plans for me, Livhuwani, Mamphwe, to prosper me and not harm me, but to give me hope and a future. I did not know what it meant, but I just took God at his word. And it just continued to unfold and unfold and unfold and unfold. And I want to leave you with this. You must be a liker of things. You must like nice things. Because when you like nice things, when you attain them, you move to a level of nicer, because you will continue to tell God and reason with God to say, but God, it's because you inspired this in me. I'm not going to say, I'm saying, not saying like things and rob others and steal. Like things and work, put in the work. And nobody will give it to you, but you can give it yourself. Your past does not define you. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was well said, eh? That was well said. I don't want to add, I don't want to limit, I don't want to take out anything from whatever that he has said. But I just want you guys to understand that in life we all go through whatever that we go through. We are going through different challenges in life. Somebody might be going through something that you are totally not even in agreement with, or something that you would say it happens to people. But there are people that go through certain things that we do not even understand why they go through them. But all in all, I'm saying to you guys, do understand that your life is in your hands. You need to be the one who shapes whatever that will be the outcome. So you are the seed. You need to be the seed that grows into a different tree. If you are becoming a tree, you need to become a tree that would yield fruits wherein people will come and eat fruits from you. So from me and from everybody else from studio, I'm saying we're ending it up here. And then if you need anything, or if you need Libu to clarify anything, he will clarify anything. Just comment on the comment section.
Yeah.
And then you will get, I will get Libu to come back and clarify everything. But nonetheless, also, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. And also, please, and I please say this again.
Yeah.
If there's anything that you can do as a favor for this channel,
Yeah.
is to subscribe and to share these messages.
Yeah.
By the way, we are not doing this for likes. We are not doing this for you guys to subscribe only. But we're also doing this so that you guys can get help and get the help that you need.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might realize that somebody's going through the same challenges that you're going through, who has come and sit here on the seat, and it might be your breakthrough. It might be your way of making it in life. Other than that, also don't forget to follow 10 Times Better Generation. You're gonna see him on Thursday again when he's on his pastoral suit, and he will be preaching to you guys again. But
Yes.
till we meet again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. From me and from everybody else. Bye.
Yay.
Yeah.